So today we're here with my friend Saw, and Saw's going to share with us today her journey as a donor. Saw, you donated your kidney or a kidney to your sister.
Correct. So it was the summer of 2010. My sister called and said that her kidney levels were going down and if I'd like to start getting tested to see if I would be a match for her. So, of course, being family, she's my sister, I started doing the medical stuff that they wanted, which was a 24-hour urine sample, a blood match, which was the most important. And once they realized or found out that my blood was a match, I was able to continue with the other stuff, which included a CT scan and a heart monitor. So I passed all of the medical physical stuff. So great. Moved on to the psychological exam.
Oh, I didn't know that was
Yes.
part of it.
Yeah. So, which would have been funny if I passed all the physical stuff and failed the
Right,
psychological
right.
exam. But yeah, I think they take everything very serious. We went through a kidney foundation thing, and they just want to make sure that you're donating your kidney on your own terms. No one's forcing you. No one's paying you. They just want to make sure you're of sound mind, I guess,
Right.
that this is completely 100% volunteer, that you decided to do this. So yes, I passed the psychological part. When it came down to the day of surgery, I'm going to say, everything was fine. You really just don't, you just want to get it over with. Of course, I was a little nervous. It took me, some time just to mentally prepare myself to do this, but it's for my sister. The main reason I did it, honestly, is she had two small children at the time, and before this, she was on dialysis. And I remember taking her a couple times to dialysis, and she would come home and she would just be completely just wiped out energy wise. She'd be sleeping after dialysis. And I just thought this was a way for her just to have a more full life, to be able to play with her children, when they're small. And, that was the main reason that I donated, just so she could have that experience and not worry about, the energy level and stuff. So the day of the surgery was fine. I liked that they were just very about me, like the surgeon was like right before we even went into this the surgery room. The surgeon was like, "Hey, you can still change your mind.
Right.
Like if you really don't want to do this."
So tell us a little bit about the recovery portion of that.
I want to say it took about a month and a half, maybe 2 months off from work to recoup. It wasn't that bad, It was at times, yeah, you're definitely walking very slow and, just trying to get back. But they gave us, pills, they gave me drugs, but I really stopped taking them after a couple of days just because it made me so groggy. It almost made me feel worse. So I want to say the recoup isn't as bad as, say, you have a C-section. So it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So time-wise and pain-wise, it wasn't
Right.
as bad. So, yeah. I guess I want to talk about the scar, as a female, right? So I remember like I had just got divorced and I was single and I went to talk to the surgeon and I was like, hey, like how big's the
Right.
scar?
Right.
Because, summer's coming out, beach
Yeah.
days. So,
Yeah.
and he was like, well, and I said, well, I have a C-section scar. I was like, could you use that? Because I really don't want another scar on me. And he was like, well, let me see it. He saw the C-section scar and he's like, that's fine. We can use that. I was like, all
Oh.
right, great. Yep. So honestly, that was it. That's the only scar. And then just a couple tiny scars where the camera goes in, but nothing too drastic. So it was fine.
What were some of the things that ran through your mind other than the scarring and stuff like
Right.
that?
So at the time, my daughter was probably about 5 or 4. And I remember my mom asked like, hey, what if your daughter needs your kidney? Like, you don't have to do this for your sister. And I was like, well, I can't worry about something that's that hasn't happened. But what if my sister needs it now? So that was mostly just the reasoning behind it, I guess. You know, I mean, it's family, so what are you
Right.
gonna, you know?
Right.
And the crazy thing was, I remember during the psychological exam, the panel was like, "Why are you doing this? Like, why are you donating?" And I was like, I started laughing, but they were like dead serious, and I'm like, "It's my sister. Like, why wouldn't I donate?" And they surprisingly said that a lot of family members are just scared, or they think, "Oh, well, what if I need my kidney down the road?"
Yep.
So it's just those kind of fears. But I think just knowing my sister and how her life would be if she had to continue dialysis, you know, instead of having a healthy kidney, is my number one, like, was my number one thing, just to give her a fuller, more, you know, a fuller life.
How's your life been since you donated a kidney?
It really hasn't changed much. The only thing I have added, like, to my physical that I usually do annually anyways, is just to check my kidney levels. That's pretty much it. So I don't feel like it has changed anything, you know. I don't even think about it now. It's been 14 years. It's not, oh,
Right.
I miss my kidney, you know. You don't really notice anything physically about your body, you know. Nothing's changed with that. So
That's encouraging.
yeah, as long as I feel like, just make sure you get checked every year, your kidney levels, and everything's, you know, been fine. So I think that also gives you just maybe a sigh of relief, you know. All right, even though I have one kidney, like, I'm still perfectly healthy, and I'm good to go.
What do you think are some of the things a kidney donor should know?
So I think what's most important is that they ask questions, and they need to know the medical stuff that they would have to go through, just to make sure that they are a solid, that they're, I guess, able to donate, right? Because you not only have to, you know, match the person that you're donating, you also want to make sure that, you know, you get through the surgery, your recovery time won't be as, you know, hard on you. So I think that definitely asking questions, any questions, there's no question that's, you know, too small to ask. Also just knowing that your lifestyle doesn't really change. You know, once the recovery, I recovered 100%, like, back to, you know, normal stuff, back to doing what I was doing, back to my same diet. I really didn't change anything. You know, giving a kidney doesn't make you, you know, I guess, don't stress about, I guess, after the fact, because I feel like nothing really changed lifestyle-wise, food-wise. I was fine. I would probably just say that also just know your reasons, you know, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Right.
Mine was obviously not just because she's my sister, but because I wanted her just to live a more rich and fuller life, you know, just knowing that it's harder on the person that, you know, needs the kidney. If you've ever been to a dialysis center, or, you know, have seen it, like, it's just, it's a little sad, just because, you know, seeing my sister go through that and knowing how much energy it drains from her, you know, to go through that process. So for me to just be able to get her, you know, to not have to do dialysis was enough for me.
So tell us how your sister's doing now.
She recovered very well. She's actually now back to working. She's a substitute teacher, so she's able to go back there and do work. She does church activities. She plays tennis. She's very healthy.
Oh, tennis. Nice.
She's very healthy. I always ask how my kidney's doing.
Yeah, I'm sure. You taking care of my kidney? I know I'm going to get a bunch of that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this. The information that you're sharing is going to be useful to anybody that's considering donating a kidney.
No problem. Anytime.